Hey, welcome to Shift. I'm Elliot, and I am so glad you're hanging out with me today. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we take those handy little keyboard shortcuts we use every day on our laptops and turn them into shortcuts for our life, our mental health, and our sanity. Because, let's be honest, life doesn't come with a manual, but it does come with a lot of noise, and sometimes we just need a quick way to cut through it. Today's shortcut is a big one. It's the double header, the duo of the digital age, Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V, copy and paste. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever scrolled through your phone at 11 p.m.? Maybe you're exhausted, your hair is a mess, there's a pile of laundry on the chair that's started to look like a small mountain range, and you see a post from someone you went to high school with. They're on a beach. Their skin is glowing. Their kids are eating organic kale chips and smiling. My daughter Clara won't even look at a piece of kale without acting like I've asked her to eat a battery. In that moment, you feel that little pang in your chest, right? That thought of, why don't I have that? What am I doing wrong? Maybe I should be doing what they're doing. Subconsciously, we hit Ctrl-C on their life and try to hit Ctrl-V onto ours. We try to duplicate their workout, their morning routine, their career path, or even their parenting style. But here's the thing. When you try to paste someone else's data into your own life's document, the formatting always gets wonky. It never quite fits. And today, we're going to talk about why that comparison is the ultimate thief of joy and how we can stop living a copy-paste existence. First, let's look at the tech. Ctrl-C is copy. It takes a piece of information, a sentence, an image, a file, and stores it in a temporary space called the clipboard. Then Ctrl-V is paste. It drops that exact same data somewhere else. It's efficient. It's a lifesaver when you're writing a report or moving files. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You just take what exists and replicate it. In the digital world, duplication is a feature. It's a tool for speed. But in the real world, in your heart, your home, and your career, duplication is a bug, not a feature. When we apply Ctrl-C/Ctrl-V to our lives, we are practicing comparison. We see a template of success out there, maybe it's a six-figure side hustle or a perfectly organized minimalist home, and we try to copy it exactly. The metaphor here is simple. Comparison is the act of looking at someone else's source code and trying to paste it into your own life. But your operating system is different. Your hardware is different. When we try to live a life that is just a copy of someone else's, we lose our original flavor. We end up with a life that looks good on paper but feels like a cheap imitation in reality. Let's dive deep into this. Point number 1. We are comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Think about a movie. You see the finished product. The explosions, the romance, the perfect lighting. That's the paste version the world sees. What you don't see is the 14 hours of bloopers, the actors forgetting their lines, the craft services table with stale bagels, and the director having a meltdown. I remember a few months ago, I saw a fellow freelancer post this incredible photo of his home office. It was pristine. Oak desk, a single succulent, a high-end microphone, and a view of a city skyline. I looked at my desk, which was currently covered with half-eaten crusts from Lucy's toast, a stack of unpaid bills, and a Lego Duplo dragon. I felt like a failure. I thought, I need to copy what he's doing. I need that desk. I need that focus. A week later, I actually grabbed coffee with this guy, and I told him, "Man, your office setup is goals." He laughed so hard he nearly choked on his latte. He told me, "Elliot, I moved 3 piles of laundry into the hallway just to take that photo. 5 minutes after I posted it, my dog threw up on the rug under that desk." When we Control-C someone's social media, we aren't copying their reality. We are copying a curated snippet. We are trying to paste a finished masterpiece into our messy, beautiful, work-in-progress lives. Of course it's going to make us feel inadequate. You're comparing your raw footage to their finished edit. There's actually some fascinating psychology behind why we do this. It's called social comparison theory, first proposed by Leon Festinger in the 50s. Basically, humans have an innate drive to evaluate themselves, and in the absence of objective measures, we look at the people around us to see how we're doing. There are two types: upward comparison, looking at people better than us, and downward comparison, looking at people worse off. The problem with the digital age is that we are constantly bombarded with upward comparison. Our clipboard is always full of people who seem richer, fitter, and happier. I think about my daughter Clara. She's 5. She'll be drawing a picture of a cat, and she's so proud of it. It's got 6 legs and no ears, but to her, it's the Mona Lisa. Then she sees a picture in a book of a real cat, or sees a classmate draw a better one, and suddenly her joy evaporates. She wants to crumple her paper. She wants to Control-V the other kid's drawing. As adults, we do the exact same thing with our careers and our bodies. We stop valuing our 6-legged cat because we're too busy trying to replicate someone else's professional illustration. But the joy wasn't in the accuracy, it was in the creation. When you copy-paste, you stop creating, you just start imitating. And imitation is a hollow way to live. Here's the third point, and this one hits home for me as a parent and a busy professional. Copy-pasting takes way more energy than being original. Think about the formatting on your computer. If you copy text from a website and paste it into a Word doc, it usually brings all that weird hidden code with it. The fonts are huge, the background is gray, and you spend 10 minutes trying to clear formatting just to make it readable. Life is the same. When you try to copy someone else's lifestyle, let's say you try to copy a 5 a.m. miracle morning routine you saw on YouTube, but you're a night owl with a toddler who wakes up at 3 a.m. You are fighting the formatting of your own life. You're trying to force a file format that doesn't exist on your drive. I tried the 5 a.m. club once. I copied the whole routine: lemon water, meditation, journaling. By 7 a.m., when my kids actually woke up, I was so exhausted and cranky that I ended up snapping at them over a spilled bowl of Cheerios. I was copying a success template that was designed for a single person with no kids and a different circadian rhythm. I was using all my mental CPU power just to pretend to be someone else. When we stop hitting Control-V on other people's habits, we free up a massive amount of internal energy. We can finally ask, what works for Elliot? What works for my family? What is my native format? So, how do we break the habit? How do we clear the clipboard and stop the comparison from stealing our joy? Here are 3 practical shift steps you can take today. 1. Unfollow the triggers. Go through your social media feed. If there is an account that consistently makes you feel like your life is not enough, even if they are a motivational speaker, hit unfollow. You don't need to copy their data if it's corrupting your hard drive. Guard your clipboard. Be very intentional about what you allow yourself to copy. 2. Practice selective comparison. If you must compare, compare yourself to yourself. Look at where you were a year ago. Look at how you handled a tantrum last month versus today. Instead of Ctrl+C on a stranger, hit Ctrl+S, save, on your own progress. Acknowledge your own growth. That's the only data that actually matters. 3. Find your native format. Identify one thing you do purely because you like it, not because it looks good or because someone else is doing it. Maybe it's a hobby no one sees or a way of dressing that isn't on trend but makes you feel comfortable. Lean into the original version of yourself. All right, here is your challenge for the week. I call it the Original Copy Challenge. Sometime this week, you're going to feel that comparison sting. You're going to see someone's promotion, someone's vacation, or someone's perfectly clean kitchen, and you're going to feel the urge to hit Ctrl-C. When that happens, I want you to literally say out loud, or in your head, formatting mismatch. Recognize that their life is a different file type than yours. And then I want you to do one small thing that is uniquely you. If you love bad 80s pop music, blast it. If you love wearing mismatched socks because they make you smile, do it. Do one thing that could never be mistaken for a copy-paste. Reclaim your original data. Thank you so much for spending these 15 minutes with me. I know your time is valuable, and I don't take it for granted. If this episode helped you feel a little less like a cheap copy and a little more like an original masterpiece, please do me a favor. Hit subscribe, leave a review, or share this with a friend who might be struggling with the comparison trap. It really helps the show reach more people who need a little shift in their day. Next time, we're going to stay on this theme, but flip the script. We're looking at Ctrl-C/Ctrl-V again, but from a different angle. Adapting what works for you. How do we take the good ideas from others and paste special so they actually fit our lives? Until then, keep it light, keep it real, and remember, sometimes all you need is a little shift. I'm Elliot. I'll talk to you soon.